Hello, this short video is going to give you some tips on how to add these leaves onto your card. And if you'll see, if I get the angle right, you can see they're raised up. Give it a little added depth and dimension, and you can see you've got little white foam pads underneath, and that's what gives that effect. Just to note, if you were looking to send via snail mail your cards this year, you need to double check. I think that goes over the postage limit, so it takes it into a large letter. So if you wanted to avoid paying the extra postage, it's a shame because it does look beautiful, but you can stick them directly onto the white card and then it'll be flat enough to go in the normal envelope. But if you'd like to raise them, this is how you do it. So in both the beginners kits and the advanced kits, you're given these foam pads. So they're cut up into squares already, and they peel off and they're sticky on both sides. So the other one takes a little bit of time to peel that one off. Keep that flat for now. In the beginner's kit you have all the leaves cut out for you, so you're ready to go, and then in the advanced kit you've got a sheet of them to cut out yourself. So once you've got those all cut out, you're ready for this stage, and this is how the backing works. So first of all, definitely stick this panel and the red background onto the card first, because in this design, see this top leaf goes off the edge. Okay, so you want to stick it onto this card first, because the actual leaf is going to be stuck onto the white card as well as that panel. So once you're up to speed with that, you're ready to do this. So you need to cut these down to size to go onto the back of the leaves. Now for that, I use, these are what I call my sticky scissors. So I have my small sharp pair, which I use for all my intricate cutting, so cutting out the leaves and other pieces. Now I don't use these for anything sticky or sellotape or glue, so I keep these special. So these can get a bit, it's a bit tough, but that's fine because that's what they're designed for. Ever so often I wipe the blades down with a baby wipe to get all the stickiness off of it, but I mean you're not stuck with your nice pair of scissors getting all sticky. So what I like to do for this is, normally when you're cutting out the foam pads, you have a panel or something that you're working with and you cut the foam pads to fit it. For these leaves, because they're so small and fiddly, I like to just cut out lots of little triangles, and then use the triangles to make the right shapes for the leaves. I'll show you what I mean. So I always do, so keeping both the top and back backing on, that's fine. Just snip away at the corners and just cut out some sort of strange shapes. You can go for quite long triangles, they do fly everywhere. You can go for quite long triangles because you can use those points for the tips of the leaves, which is quite handy. So just experiment, giving you a few of the pads to play around with, so you don't need to worry about using up too much. Okay, that should be enough to get me started. So just cutting it, not really much rhyme or reason to it, just cutting away at little bits. So gather them all together, and now it kind of turns into a crystal maze type game to match these triangles onto the back of the leaves. So yeah, turn them over, so they've got an inked image on one side and then the back is blank. So make sure you've got the blank side. Turn them all over. That one's particularly big. Right. So, and then we can start with the biggest one. and we can place. So before you take the backing off and stick it, just hold it up to it. Oh, that's done quite well on the first attempt there. Hold it up or lay it on top of it, just so you can see. Now what you don't want is the white foam pad to go over the edge of the leaf. You don't want to be able to see it, but it doesn't need to cover all of it. You just need to keep. It's nice to have the longest bits, especially on this leaf. This bit's quite exposed on its own, so it's nice to have a bit of foam pad in behind that so it doesn't get squashed flat. But it doesn't need to. You don't need to worry about every bit of the back. So I think that one will actually do fine on its own. So once you're happy with that, you need to peel. It's useful to have nails. So cultivate ones just to peel off the backing sheets of these. So you can take off one side and then stick it down. Remember that the triangle shape will be different on both sides, so take off the right side of the backing. So that one's there. So once you've got that stuck on one side, I'd leave that to one side with the other side still on, just in case anything else sticks to it while you're trying to do the rest. Let's have a look at these. So the others might need more. It's a nice shape that matches that one. Okay, I'll add a few of these on. And so you might find, so this bit is, oh, you can see it from there, this bit's too big, but that shape there fits nicely into this bit here. So all I need to do is chop off the end of it because it's too long, and I'll do that before I stick it down and check that I've cut enough off. Yes, beautiful. Right, so I'll peel that, make sure I peel the base layer off so that it's the right shape. Stick that down, and there we go, that one's looking good. I mean, that has worked very well. That's a good coverage on that one, but it doesn't need to be as good as that. I got lucky. So let's have a look at these ones. So these are getting smaller. So that one's a nice diamond shape for that one. Take off. In fact, I think that one will actually do fine on its own. Like that. So you've got that point bit covered. And then this one's quite thin. So I'll have a look for what we've got. That one works, it's just a little bit too long, so I'll tear it's already cut into. That was the piece I cut out that was over the standard squares on there, so it's actually a different shape, so it's already cut down, so I can put that one on. Now I just need a little bit. I've got a little bit at the end of this one. I don't think there's one small enough, so I'll cut one in half. Oh, hang on. I spotted that little bit there. Will do nicely. And a little bit too big still. Back off. That one there, let me show you that one. Excellent. So now you've got those 4 leaves ready to go, push those to one side. Now you're ready to position them on the card. So it's 4 leaves, they are 2 holly and 2 ivy, and they're all different, so we need to make sure we got the right ones. Let's start with the biggest one first. So you can peel off the backing sheet now. I've just noticed there's a fold in that one. And now I've stuck it to itself. In fact, I want another piece of that. See, mistakes can happen. So I'm just going to add another piece on there. That's a perfect size one. Excellent. So what I'll do is try and line it up as best you can, because of the height of the foam pads. You've actually got a bit of wiggle room really, because even if you put it on exactly on top, when you hold the card at different angles, you can always see around it. So you've still got the shape of the leaf underneath, so it doesn't matter. So just place that on top, and that'll stick nice on. They're good, really sticky foam pads, so they will hold well. I'll just do the others. I can show you these guys. So this one is one that's going off the edge of the page, so just line up the bits of the leaf that are on the white bit that you can see, and then the top of the leaf goes up over the edge. And then the holly leaves. Just make sure you get this one the right way round. It's spiky, that one. And the last one. Beautiful. And there we go, all stuck on and looking wonderful.